for the first time witnessing this scale of attacks very close to the armistice agreement line that are taking place. The multiple airstrikes that the Israel is carrying out on the Hamas infrastructure moments before the implementation. The officers, the commanders on ground of the Israel Defense Forces are worried about the implementation of the decision has been taken by the Netanyahu government. Attack passing minute.
रिपब्लिक आपको जंग के मैदान से वो तस्वीरें दिखाने और बताने की कोशिश कर रहा है जो अब से पहले आपने कभी नहीं देखी थी। ये पूरा 25,000 जो रिजर्व फोर्सेस हैं वो यहां पर हैं। गोलन हाइट्स का जो बॉर्डर है वो बमुश्किल 8 किलोमीटर है और इसीलिए ये एक्टिव वॉर फील्ड है। यहां पर बड़े हमले करने की तैयारी की जा रही है।
बिल्कुल करीब किलोमीटर की आप देख पा रहे हैं और अभी भी धमाका वहां तेज हुआ है। इस बीच ऐसा लग रहा है कि हुती विद्रोही और जो हिजबुल्लाह है मुस्लिम वर्ल्ड को भड़काने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। तो सवाल ये बना हुआ है कि क्या युद्ध का दायरा अब तेजी से बढ़ता जा रहा है और क्या और देश भी युद्ध के मैदान में कूदने वाले, क्योंकि अमेरिका इजराइल के साथ खड़ा है, मुस्लिम वर्ल्ड के साथ किसका पक्ष ले। मौजूद हैं और पीछे गाजा बॉर्डर पर लगातार तेज होती बमबार्डमेंट की तस्वीरें जो हेड करता है हमास को घर सबूत दिया गया है। अस्पताल में भी ऑपरेशन जारी है। जो आइडिया दी गई बताया गया कि अंदर तमाम जो हथियार है, एडवांस्ड वेपन्स हैं जिनका इस्तेमाल हमास इजराइल के खिलाफ करता है, वो वेपन्स कहा गया कि 3 दिन का अगर सीज फायर किया जाता है तो कुछ बंधकों को छोड़ा जा सकता है।
We are armistice line of agreement and the intentions that as the has been
कांग्रेस ने राजस्थान को महिलाओं के खिलाफ अपराध में नंबर 1 बना दिया।
सरकार आपके सामने जो काम किया उसके दम पर
तेलंगाना में ना कांग्रेस को फायदा होगा ना बीजेपी को फायदा होगा। ये तेलंगाना की अवाम इस बात का फैसला कर चुकी है।
केसीआर, ओवैसी की पार्टी और कांग्रेस तीनों पार्टियां हैं। वोट भारत का भविष्य तय करने वाला।
Burning question, forward by Sarah.
The operation to bring out 41 workers in the tunnel in Uttarakhashi has entered its final stage now. After Rahul's party logic, Mamata now blaming the Prime Minister for India. A show cause notice to Rahul Gandhi over the Panoti and the J. Big impact the Maua payoff scam investigation. Sources say the login rule by the Lok Sabha Secretariat.
जो जम्मू कश्मीर के लोगों तो मुझे समझ नहीं कहते हैं हालात ठीक है तो फिर हमारे जवान शहीद क्यों हो रहे हैं?
4 jawans marched to terrorist gun down Rajouri, but Mehbooba Mufti continues to toe the Pakistan line again.
जो लोग भारत को उसके अतीत से काटना चाहते थे, संस्कृति से, उसकी आध्यात्मिक पहचान से विरक्त थे, आजादी के बाद भी गुलामी की मानसिकता नहीं काट पाए।
Addressing the Braj Raj Utsav celebration, the Prime Minister slams the colonial mindset, saying Mathura did not get its. Ladies and gentlemen, the Prime Minister's statement, the Congress leader is paying the price because his father took losses in the Congress is very cleverly crafted. It's and also has a significant outreach message for the Gujjar community in Rajasthan. The question we are asking, who has the edge in the state of Rajasthan? Remember, the state of Rajasthan essentially is a bipolar contest between the Congress and the BJP, and it's largely communities here. There is a talk of polarization, welfare scheme, freebies, you name it, and every trick has been used by all here for their victory in the state. Now, if you just look at the state of Rajasthan, particularly in Rajasthan belt, that is the strong the Gujjar community. There are apart from Gujjar, the Rajputs and significant politically when you talk state, but the Gujjar community largely member has voted for the BJP when things completely changed, and this is where there was high probability of Pilot being made the chief minister, but that did not happen, and that now the BJP believes that this of ensuring that they get major of those Gujjar votes will happen or not. The is time and again reiterating the treatment to Sachin Pilot, remember, is coming with a significant message for the BJP perhaps hopes and they believe that this eastern Rajasthan belt will help sway that Gujjar vote in the favor of, and Gujjars, remember, are just about 8 to 9% of the population in the state, but they have a significant impact on 30 to 40 seats. And is this the reason why Sachin Pilot is just the Asli Nishana is the Gujjar vote? Let's first up get you said about Sachin Pilot, quote unquote, getting sidelined. He said, "Doodh mein Sachin Pilot ko Congress ne nikal feka." Sachin Pilot has also reacted to that very short attack by the Prime Minister. Let's hear both.
एक बार उन्होंने कांग्रेस की भलाई के लिए चुनौती दी थी, फिर वो भी चुक गए थे, लेकिन ये परिवार ऐसा है कि राजेश जी को तो सजा दी, उसके बेटे को भी सजा देने में पड़े हुए हैं।
मैंने प्रधानमंत्री का बयान देखा और उनका जो बयान था वो तथ्यों से बहुत परे था। जहाँ तक उन्होंने मेरे बारे में कहा कि मेरे वर्तमान और मेरे भविष्य की चिंता किसी को करनी नहीं है, चिंता हमारी पार्टी और हमारी जनता करेगी और हमारा खूब ख्याल रखेगी।
So how significant is this? Can the Congress even have an answer to the way that Sachin Pilot has been sidelined, he's been slighted by the Congress? And could this just change the things in the favor of the BJP? I think these are very important questions to ponder as now. 25th, that is Saturday, you will see the voting in the state of break over the entire story to help you understand why we are talking of Sachin Pilot and why the Prime Minister the last 2 days has been speaking about Sachin Pilot and the treatment. Is the spokesperson of the BJP with us. Sangeeta Pranindra is a political analyst and she does understand the state of Rajasthan far better than all of us here. Kartikeya Batra plays with numbers. He's a political analyst and he will also help us understand why Eastern Rajasthan belt in particular is so significant and the Prime Minister is so much emphasis on the Gujjar votes. Will the Gujjar votes return to the BJP? Or will there be a wedge in that vote? Now, Nikhil, everything will depend how the Congress will be, thinking about that story. Though the campaign now has ended, it should be clear. Sachin अपने से मक्खी की तरह बाहर निकाल फेंका है. He is being was due for the late Rajesh Pilot because Gandhi family, the Shahi Khandan. So, Nikhil, why are you doing the state of Rajasthan? The other day, Gandhi spoke about the Panoti comment on the very day that you had Ashok putting out his manifesto, and then this treatment to Sachin Pilot, Nikhil? You'll have to unmute yourself, Nikhil.
Call, yeah. Am I audible now? Diti, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, I was actually giving my audio patching number, but Bita resume. Sachin Pilot was given a ticket to contest Lok Sabha. He was made 32. He would make PCC chief at the age of 37. At 42.
Why do you make him the chief minister? That's the only important question. From the post of a deputy chief minister.
What the Prime Minister is saying is that Sachin is being punished for being the for the presidential elections of the Congress party against Sonia Gandhi. How is punishing a man in a Lok Sabha ticket that made a union minister, PCC chief, deputy chief minister, this and that? Nobody has ever punished Sachin Pilot for who.
Speaking, it's like it's.
No,
for being that, but it's such a Pilot. He needs to remember who gave him that favor.
He's a very popular leader of Rajasthan. He's a very popular face. He's a hard.
Let's put the long story short. Ashok Gehlot has played tell me the Congress wins.
Why don't you question of the BJP who will be the Alaknath, Yogi
Chief Minister of the BJP? Come on, Nick.
Who becomes a Congress Chief Minister, whether it's whether whether it is Govind Singh Dotatra, whether anybody else, it is not for side yes.
Before we get I will come back to you. Putting comments so viewers can understand where does everyone stand on the story and why Gujjar vote has become critical towards. Now, Rakhi, Prime Minister is speaking about Sachin Pilot, the treatment that him. But can you tell me about Vasundhara Raje? She remained silent for many years until perhaps the last month or so we saw visible everywhere. So can you really?
It is our policy that we are going to fight this election under Modi ji under the name of Kamal Nishan. We have never projected anyone in. Every party the party has a different kind of policy in different elections. This party is what my friend example of 2008 Congress party fought election of pilot 2000, in 2013, Congress party took only 20. Sachin Pilot was the main, leader in 5 years of the tenure when he, and unofficially he was projected. Votes they voted for Congress party in 2018, and Prime Minister about 2000, and that listen, they are not they 2018, and definitely in coming years also, the assembly election, they will not feel what they are right now. That is why on the history of Congress, we see promote never talent, young talent.
Something I wanted to ask you, both panelists, both the panelists on the show, because your direct comment, Rakhi, Prime Minister has your voice everywhere. The allegation is that regional corrupts have zero value in the country. If Vasundhara Raje is not for the BJP of Rajasthan, I mean, will you be thinking now on such cause in the Congress's? Because you say आपके पास तो प्रधानमंत्री का चेहरा है, then why you shoot such shoulders?
By just telling, in fact, Congress has done such a look at the language level which was shared by the Congress party, like Dona, Gadda, like the level of words which is inappropriate, and that is why we are telling the truth to the Gujar community that the Congress party is going to treat your leader. This is the actual fact. And as far as BJP is concerned, when we say that,
and you think that on the penultimate days, Rakhi, you is how could be swayed towards BJP have in the state of Rajasthan that is also as a pendulum. Again, both stand for when you earned a good, this is more about what ma'am so critical in this.
Affect parties Gujars to those 30 seats. Before 2008, the as Vasundhara Raje, my in-law is a Gujar and I'm their relation and their son. In such a 2018, a prospective chief minister who sets their dreams afloat, who knows they want reservation. They have this one man who steer the country towards the path of so Gujar community is not likely to forget this. Now, if you will see the time last few years, you see that we had Besla who had they had him as a candidate, all good. Of course, not getting pilot in the center. Sideline, he was on the flag row on the stage, and giving important. It was during few. Earlier it was Gehlot, then it was Gehlot, the Dotasra. You will see pilot now cut out there on the rallies. So this means that the Congress realizes that it can to lose the community remembers the now the attack has launched a vicious attack. It was as if they had they should drive a larger rift between the Congress and the BJP. They are just the number in hopes to have faced through your leader. seats are a lot. But at the same time, you know,
absolutely. I think you've put out and pushed that point. I just want to show that we have enough time for a second comment from everyone. So I want to get in before we. There has been a lot of conversation about that. How many people believe that. Now this, you know, if you ask people that if Congress wins, in this conundrum of the Congress can even afford to change the minister, say that such and could that better results for the Congress in the second, the Vasundhara Raje factor. Like, you know what, Sangeeta, the picture of both pilot, we see the Prime Minister smiling, being just about yes, to remain silent during the entire campaign. Karthik.
So that's a very good question, Deepthi. I'll try to answer that by at least one. That saying that the pilot will be the same, I don't think makes sense because you're too deep into the campaign. Training very nicely. Listen, Congress last time won because they had a huge lead in the Dhundhad and Mewar. Was it 7 seats? Just 10 seats in that region. And Congress a pretty big for either side with the BJP. The BJP. For the future, is very important. Dhundhad, it's also important. So, given all, you about the factor. Of course, everybody had the calculation. Maybe Mr. Gehlot thought that he could pull this off, and Mr. Modi thought that he could pull this off without Ms. Raje. Actually, I think both sides realized that no. Yes. And at the end, I would say, why is this in Rajasthan interesting? Usually, it's a revolving door, and last time when the Congress lost, they came up. The reason that Rajasthan is this time is two reasons. One, the fact that the local BJP unit has not been so Ms. Vasundhara Raje at the last moment probably effort those concerns. So I think all your questions are well made, but I think without this point, both these sides understand that Mr. for the Congress and Mr. Raje fight for the BJP to make a good performance. That the election is still close for the side.
It is Nikhil push that into the Prime Minister. You say, you know, like such a pilot is saying, "Oh, this is all false," because you know, if you I was talking to a few journalists, they actually say, Chief Minister unse छीन लिया. So why is that doing this? I mean, do you not allow it?
I want to make 3 small points. I'll take just first of all, I find it laughable. मुख्यमंत्री का फाइलों पे साइन किया कमल करेगा. Second, the Gujars is angry and take the revenge. Who do to take the revenge from? Sachin Pilot is contesting from Sachin is the
from Congress. I don't understand. बदला तो कांग्रेस होगा.
So if the
क्योंकि they voted,
no.
they voted 10 marks the Congress particular region in 18 like Karthik just underscored Nikhil.
Let me so अगर गुजरों ने कांग्रेस से बदला होंगे, what are you even assuming the people community to be? Of course,
you are assuming such a level on yes, na?
Such
Nikhil, that's it. It will continue to be. See that youth practice because
the voting
कहाँ तक पहुँच जाती है.
and 2
Rakhi.
days.
She's gotten into the that the Vasundhara factor is so strong. She is the only popular leader. Tell me something. Is such a pilot पे इतने डोरे क्यों डाले जा रहे हैं?
The hypocrisy of Congress party was the way into and then declared Ashok Gehlot. That's what telling people of the promises and fact. And as far as Raja ji is concerned, senior
Can you say that will be chief minister in case BJP wins the election?
That would be decided.
You each other answers, but you hit out at everyone.
Congress party is not yet the series of. But I know that this question, I don't want to ask this question.
But they are dumping Sachin Pilot and Ashok Gehlot is their only face. Okay, away from this political shooting, I have a minute. Both and Karthik, we're very patiently waiting. Nikhil and Rakhi, please. Now, Sangeeta ji, people will say this is Ashok Gehlot's victory. He has no relevance in the Congress. I mean, I think right.
Sachin Pilot, if he didn't have relevance within the Congress would project posters. But at the same time, you need to see that for the unless he does his magic and pulls out something that's happened this time, which present seems clear because it's a history of an alternate between BJP. If I think we are going to get it as a chief, is going to get atrocious to even think because a dozen and a half with party ready to slug it out to be the chief minister. It reminds me of the first.
At least 12, Sangeeta ji, that's the point. So I want to know what's the future of a Sachin Pilot. Karthik, what is the future of a Sachin Pilot? You know, if he remains in the Congress, does he gain more or if
he's a committee now. I mean, I think that it's all good to imagine these, but I don't think Congress is a valuable asset to the party. Holding him to the Gujar vote, I think he's also a youth leader when it comes to the Rajasthan arena. Also, another thing that the probably youth leaders utilize him in the coming years. But I think that he definitely that will not go through because as you said, the BJP in Rajasthan, God knows what would have happened. Look at Mr. Sindhya's situation in Madhya Pradesh. So I think
Ashok asked क्या सर अगली तो उन्होंने कहा मैं तो कुर्सी छोड़ दूं लेकिन कुर्सी नहीं छोड़ती है. That's what said Karthik, कुर्सी मुझे नहीं छोड़ती.
Properly and Mr. that finished. The Gujar agree with you. The Gujar people on the ground that believes that there is no pilot who's going to stay in Rajasthan Congress supporting him. So which way this might?
Okay, my producer tells me that we have time, and I will okay. But it's been such fascinating and the advantage analyst decisions. These analysts will call off all the lies politicians love to talk about on television day and night. Now, Rakhi, Sangeeta ji, gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Rajasthan elections, we'll keep our talk focus on the 5th. The side back with
The global higher education. Only the 6 institutions are in the world having the graduates. IIT Delhi, IISc Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIM Ahmedabad, IIT Kharagpur and Amity University.
किलोमीटर की दूरी पर गाजा स्ट्रिप को आप देख रहे हैं और अभी धमाका वहां तेज हुआ है। जो हिजबुल्लाह है की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। सवाल यह हुआ है कि क्या युद्ध का दायरा जा रहा है और क्या और देश भी युद्ध के मैदान में साथ खड़ा है। ऐसे मुस्लिम वर्ल्ड के साथ हुई है कि वो कितना पक्ष
first time that we are telling this of attacks very close to the armistice line that the multiple airstrike Israel side is carrying on the moments before of on-ground ceasefire. The officers, the commanders on ground of the Israel Defense Forces are yet to be conveyed about that has been the Netanyahu government and how the attacks are intensifying with the passing.
जंग के मैदान से कोशिश कर रहा है। पहले आपने कभी नहीं देखी 25,000 जो है वो यहाँ पर है। हाइट्स का जो है वो बम है और इसीलिए एक्टिव और फील्ड यहाँ पर हमले की तैयारी की जा रही है।
करीब दूरी पर आप देख रहे हैं और अभी भी धमाका वहां तेज हुआ है। इस बीच ऐसा लग रहा है कि जो हिजबुल्लाह है मुस्लिम कोशिश कर रहे हैं। सवाल बना हुआ है क्या अब और देश में कूदने वाले ऐसे लाइन पर मौजूद हैं और आप पीछे गाजा बॉर्डर पर लगातार तेज होती तस्वीरें देख पूरी है। हमास उसमें क्या है अस्पताल में भी ऑपरेशन जारी। जो जानकारी आईडीएफ की तरफ से कि उसके अंदर तमाम जो हथियार एडवांस हमास के खिलाफ है हमास अगर तो कुछ बंधकों को छोड़ा।
We are reporting armistice of that as the days for the Israel meeting by the Prime Minister. She has made it amply clear there is going to be no permanent ceasefire of temporary ceasefire exchange. They are allowed inside the Gaza city, very close to the Jabalia refugee camp and also Al-Faqr, the UN school where operations were carried out.
कांग्रेस ने राजस्थान को महिलाओं के खिलाफ नंबर 1 बना दिया।
आज हमारी सरकार आप के दम पर वोट
तेलंगाना
and like crimes.
Welcome you watching the Trending Burning Question with me, Shantman. It's China's now. When it comes to but the reality is completely different. It's the neat encapsulation of Beijing is trying to promote itself as a supporter of Palestine. China has been in its country pose their doublespeak. While on the one hand, China accuses Israel of mosques for weapons and actual terrorists, in the a report suggests that Beijing has destroyed mosques, rather now is an open secret. Everyone knows it. Now we are talking two different provinces, Gaza, a drive that being carried out, part of what the Chinese are thinking about. To a report, the last three Chinese authorities decommissioned, closed down, converted, use about 1,320 mosques, 4,000 mosques in the other, in Gansu province. Now the question is, China really putting minorities in its back in parliament open? The Trending Burning Question tonight, Ambassador Mahesh Sajdev, joining us from Hong Kong. Andrew Leung is let me get our guest matter. Andrew, let me put this into perspective. You've always said what is happening in Xinjiang is, you've always accused the United States rights what now about other provinces where is attempt to be all the architecture of mosques. Where does really garner this kind of when they essentially talk about the fact on the World Forum that you ought to protect the minority when it comes in your own home ground? It's a completely different picture.
China is a unique country. And groups, of course, the Han Chinese, actually all of them, with the exception of certain sectors in Xinjiang, and they live in great harmony and peace with Han people. Secondly, China's respects the culture of the Xinjiang people. You at the debate note, very start Xinjiang language have been printed on each and every bank along languages. Now, the data quoted in the report is a little bit out of date in the situation returning to normal after the of separatism and terrorism, and that's what happened with the so-called destruction of certain mosques, hiding terrorists and separatists. Things that are now 5,000 per basis is one mosque for about 57 people. I mean, it's all in many Islam countries, and of course, the lives of the Xinjiang people have dramatically improved. Indexes, it's increased 7 times, and it's now a rate of 8.5% annually. And is increasing quite respectively for 5%. So I think that this whole story about genocide is totally false. And the accusation about cotton.
The statistics that highlighted you.
Look at how cotton.
There is a factual error I'd like to highlight here for all, because the that you're writing, unfortunately, we do not have an Uyghur. We spoke. We were preparing this. The very you as show this essentially resulted in growth in Xinjiang province. Uyghur have contested essentially questions about and of course, Sajdev, if I can bring you in, the perhaps it is so and under the been have in Saudi Arabia, Uyghur being adopted is a clear indication of the fact that China can go ahead and they feel like, despite multiple reports. A 2018 report also goes on to indicate genocide has actually taken place in Xinjiang province, and there are two dismissed these reports that have come in. Reports that have come in the past talking about the conditions in China.
I will not like to or data exchanges because have monopolist this, but on the mechanics of it, there are two or three rationale on the basis of Chinese to conclude that they have monolithic identity dominated by all over China, despite minorities being mentioned and the banks having started with Inner Mongolia and to Tibet. From there, we have already now fees and have been cited. Central Western China has been a blind spot in the way of doing things, and they would like it to be and also to have conclusion to their policy, which 2018 about Uyghurs and other Muslim minorities on this and the central some of them by various movements. We've had the Taliban, which is not too far. And we've had Kosovars, etc. in Balkans and South Russia. Now, all these to show that some is perceived by Muslims, such as Chinese Communist Party, and have acted pre kind of threat. Comes to Muslim world's double faith, I would like to. You have already mentioned Turkey has a large with has links with Xinjiang and other areas. It's a small minority living in Iran. Ambassador, they have the Turkic and Hui not found any support in the Muslim world. Motivate China as as an emerging power. So I see other similar bodies have remained quiet. What's going on in China?
Let me say a little forward.
Muslims.
Ambassador Sajdev, you've made the point with regards to the support or the inaction. Largely spoken about the support that they have actually received. And mosque consolidation is concerned. It is not that you. This is part of the document. Imam from in this as this report, and you may once again contest this according to the report and provided by the government effort to consolidate mosques. They are talking about predominantly mosques were deregistered, 5 were closed, another 5 were improved and consolidated. Numbers that the Human Rights Watch are largely talking about the data that has already been published by the government, based on which they are coming to reality. Mosque consolidation is becoming a reality. Why is it so very difficult to accept the fact that you are deliberately doing it?
This is just looking at only to the picture and twisted the total reality, which is totally false. In the sense that there is a complete of perspective in this and can continue to live in peace with the rest of the population and party under control. And many people are welcome back to visit Xinjiang. And as I said, even now, the whole place is now crowded with tourists from other provinces and from. The fact remains that the Xinjiang people's livelihood have been and then there are more per capita compared to some countries. Now, the accusation that the Chinese Communist Party wants again is like 58 minorities. All you need to do is the 100-day celebration and the opening of the 28 on parade. All the groups with a different culture. Because it's the policy that be. That's the whole point. That there is an world, and the whole is divide the world because of the differences. And I think the policy comes. Okay. Minorities have different culture, have different live in peace. So it's deep-seated in China's culture. Harmony despite differences, philosophy.
Mr. Andrew, you've tried your level best to suppress Mr. Andrew.
Of the
you openly said you've opened, but if that's the case, that's well, you openly dared various organizations, media outlets, should but the reality, when an attempt was actually made by a journalist, you've actually come with. Last time, I want to bring you in and come to Mr. Andrew and Sajdev said this. In fact, when you've forget Musharraf made that visit. Made a famous comment that he's asked the good with. Now they've seen down the line keep it up. About it. The reality is that China's double speak, which continues, and have you've heard what I have to say, that every by any that come up over the last few years, but those who have come out from the position that they've had.
There's some echoing on, but what I that yes, there and have been issues. I think part of the government synchronization come out with a policy. Once a government has a policy, as mentioned, a bit of a double speak in one way, because it's support support to the Palestinians, but at the same time, within their country, it would appear they're following the policy. And I think in every country they decide what is best suited for their own country. So they've been accused of raising mosques, etc. But part of their policy they've been following, and I know the country, but I think it's part of their policy. Nobody said much about it when the policy was announced. In any case, another yesterday the OIC, there were OICers in Beijing. Nobody said this report out at that point. The fact that they allow Muslims living in these they want to, should I say, control, or they want to legalization, so they would like to increase their but that's what the perception. So I think we cannot really have very sort of we cannot in that sense. But yes, it is not the best policy if you look from a perspective. But for the Islamic world, why is this? So that is the question that comes to mind.
If I can just take a quick word from you, because I would end. Where, how exactly then addressed? You've seen several Uyghurs activists open that they've faced. The reality is that they do not have a place to go now. Is that very few will perhaps even raise their voice on this entire what really address the very issue that has been going on for several.
To say the question again, why the Uyghurs question is lingering.
Yeah, Ambassador said, I'm saying, what's the roadmap ahead? Because if almost every nation today behaves like an ostrich when on a matter like this, so how does one address the issue that the Uyghurs raised for several years put together?
Sorry, I couldn't understand what you're saying. There is I couldn't hear your.
I'm sorry, a problem with your audio line. That question to Dev in that. Ambassador, you've heard the question asking Ambassador. The fact every nation today, especially the United Nations, behave like an ostrich. One really resolve this matter. What we want to talk about.
I think we should avoid becoming involved in countries. The fora such as Human Rights Commission issues, and there are human rights organizations, not specifically referring to Human Rights Watch. I think I wanted to dispel the misimpression, as they think it is, that they could invite impartial body to have a look and give help to
right.
But on their own, Swiss and the other Turkite minorities little recourse by themselves. Except
Ambassador, I'm out of time. Andrew,
and maybe self-fulfilling prophecy, unless
just have one last, Ambassador, I'm sorry to interrupt you because I just want to take one last. So, Andrew, you've heard both the panelists largely indicating the fact that this is a which is documented by several organizations, perhaps only in 30 seconds, you have admitted in some way or the other this is to do, because one you cannot perhaps then talk about issues in the same manner. Your exposure to this entire matter raises the concerns.
A story to is addressing the terrorist and separatist problem and what's happening over Gaza. The fact the is the people's lives, to see whether the people have actually see their livelihood deteriorating or demonized or falling over the past, say, or continuing to improve.
Okay, Andrew, short of time, take this.
But 37 times over the year. What's happening in Gaza? And in Gaza,
as far as Gaza is concerned, as far as Gaza is concerned, I think so. What you essentially wanted is also very fact that you do have this in place, so you really can't question the issues on this. Thank you very much, Ambassador Andrew, for joining us on the Turning Question on the big debate coming up with editor chief Navuswa.
In the global employability rankings by Times Higher Education UK, only the 6 institutions are ranked amongst the top 230 in the world for having the most employable group. IIT, IIC Bangalore, IIT and Amity University.
First time that we are witnessing this scale of attacks close to agreement that are taking place. The multiple attacks side is structure. Moments before the implementation of on-ground ceasefire, the officers, the commander on ground of the Israel Defense Forces are to conduct the implementation of the decision that has been taken by the Netanyahu government.